It's the summer of COVID-19. Oh, yeah. Ugh. Oh, crap. Fuck it. I'm going to leave that stand as my theme for tonight. Never fear, Sean Patrick is here. So, even though this is apparently a long weekend, it started mid-March and doesn't look like it's going to end anytime soon. A lot of people out there went out partying from what I saw and what friends have told me about. And, well, then there's Wisconsin. So fuck all y'all and virtual hugs and kisses to everyone who is smart and kept their distance. One of the few things the Yankees do right, aside from being whack balls, bourbon. Mm. I guess they should do it right. They invented it. Anyway, so I was going to do a show last night, but ended up on the phone with my sports correspondent making fun of loonies like Brian Adams, which has always been one of our favorite pastimes. So tonight I'll be covering a few days here. Let's go to New Brunswick, where Premier Blaine Higgs, his lockdown included not allowing any more temporary foreign workers in. So as fishermen took to the sea, canneries and processing plants remained sorely understaffed. Higgs said Friday, "It's a sad commentary on our province if we have 70,000 people unemployed and that basically we're not able to find enough people to work in the opportunities that exist." Previously, he had said that there were approximately 600 positions vacant in agriculture and fishing and fish processing, pardon me. And then in his address on Friday, he said that he didn't know the exact number, but it could be about 1,200. Well, yes, that is really, really sad. You would think that with unemployment numbers like that, people would be lined up around the block. But, Rosemary Barton there on CBC interviewed a fish processing plant owner that said he'd had such a hard time finding staff that he's hiring his 13-year-old son and a few of his friends. Oh, sure, they aren't the most glamorous jobs, but aren't they better than nothing? And by having Canadian residents take these jobs, far more of the money earned would go back into our economy. But of course, it gets worse. Then it was suggested that Higgs's decision to solidly lock down the province, even to foreign workers, is racist and will increase xenophobia. Yes, there's a Matthew in New Brunswick, too. No one was allowed in or out. They were included in this and thus were in no way discriminated against. He didn't say, "We're not allowing Mexicans into New Brunswick, but everybody else is fine. We're not allowing Jamaicans into New Brunswick, but everybody else is fine." No, this was a blanket fucking rule. Not possible. Not possible to be racist. So, Air Canada, laying off approximately 20,000 people, less than 60% of its employees, due to a 95% drop in business. Well, this caused reporters to ask why are they choosing not to use the wage subsidy? Well, they are, and that's a large part of the reason why they aren't laying off more people. Right now, all they can do is shipping. Even when domestic travel opens, that won't help much as the vast majority of their business is international and nobody knows when that can start again. When it does, there will be health checks which require more staff, and the flights will have to have fewer people on them, thus making travel more expensive. And again, we don't know when or if it will ever get back to the business it once was. Will the government bail them out? Unfortunately for those people, they shouldn't. And I really don't think they can for two reasons. To bail them out enough to keep all their employees, the majority of which won't even actually have a real, actual job, until travel returns to the frequency it was at pre-ICI, would cost billions. The other reason is that there are other tourism and entertainment-based industries that have also seen similar drops in business that would also want to bail out. Fact is, the buck's got to stop somewhere. And this pandemic is just plain going to decimate certain industries, and there is no way around it. Here in Stratford, the economy is solely tourism, mainly based around the Shakespearean Festival. How do they open the theaters again? At best, they could operate at about 30% capacity. The staff and theater goers all need masks, and the theater requires a new level of cleaning between shows. So the fancy $125 tickets are now $500. We have a large amount of hotels and B&Bs that, without the festival, have no use here. And we have way too many restaurants for our population to support. Many are too small for physical distancing and won't be able to seat enough people to make it worthwhile. And the cost of doing takeout is increased because many people use food ordering apps, which get a cut, and the restaurant pays for that. I imagine that the festival will find a way to weather the storm, but what about everyone else? This is going to be a very different city in a few months. In fact, this catastrophe has shown us worldwide we all need to change the way we do things, or Mother Nature will have to teach us another lesson. So, a stupid question from over here, this province, this week, inquired as to why Service Canada offices are still closed, as some people would prefer to go in person. Well, aside from the fact that there was a serious boost in available phone and online staff, I find it difficult to believe that anyone who can secure transport to get to the office doesn't have a phone. Also, I don't know if you noticed, but there's a fucking pandemic going on, easily transferable. There's a lot of things a lot of us would prefer to be doing right now. Fucking jackass. Folks, the icky is a fucked up thing, and we don't now, and we may never fully understand. Of course, we need to eat, play, socialize, but it may never get back to the way things were. We need to adapt, as we've always done, but that requires thinking. As different restrictions are eased in different areas, we need to pay attention to what happens there. And we need to not act like those are the guidelines of our area. Having a couple friends visit in the yard more than 2 meters apart is fine. Hosting an orgy is not. No, Sandy, not even if it's outdoors and everyone is wearing masks. Just because you get to be an asshole in Wisconsin doesn't mean you can do it here. So no matter what restrictions may have been eased, it's still just as important to stay the fuck away from each other and wash everything. A lot. No, Sandy, I don't think that's a good idea. Well, no, I've never tried using hand sanitizer as lube, but I've never tried injecting disinfectant either yet. I'm still going to say that's a bad idea.